G'day, and welcome to my channel. In this series, I'm talking about purchasing a home remotely in Italy. And in this video, I'm talking about why I decided not to choose the €1 home and use that incentive. Okay, so don't forget to give me the thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the rest of the series. So for those of you that don't know, there's an incentive in Europe at the moment in a lot of towns, and in Italy specifically, there's over 100 towns that are actually offering this at various times. And the idea of the €1 homes is you can actually purchase a property for €1, and it's to lure people back to the towns that have become almost like ghost towns, to revive communities and towns where, the younger people have moved to the big cities because there's more opportunities. And so as the older generation kind of passes on, these towns are becoming ghost towns. And it's an initiative that was started in 2019. And yeah, it's grown in popularity and it's very, very real. So when we were last in Italy, we experienced this. We prefer to drive off the kind of main highways and freeways so that we get more of an experience of what the countries are like. And so we saw for ourselves entire towns that were just ghost towns. We'd drive through them and there was just no one there, or there was a couple of people there. It was just really spooky. So as I said, children have moved on in droves, and it's a problem not just in Italy, but also in France. We've seen it in France and throughout Europe. So how the €1 homes work is each town's a little bit different, but basically you purchase a property for €1. And there's also additional purchasing costs, which can range between sort of 1 to 4,000 from what we researched, 1 to 4,000 euros, that is. And there's a deposit that you need to pay of around 3 to 7,000 euros, depending on the town. And it's like a guarantee that, so that you definitely will renovate the property. And that's what they really want you to do. They want you to renovate the property. Sometimes there's also limitations where you have 2 to 3 years to complete those renovations. And these are all things that you need to consider. But it's a way for you to actually purchase a home that is very, very cheap. And makes it possible for people with a lower budget to to purchase a property. Now, the thought of doing renovations in a beautiful old town in Italy or in Europe can be really appealing. But it also can be a bit scary. But the good news is that you're not left on your own to work out how to do all the renovations. So in a lot of the places, the entire town gets behind you to help you to make it happen. And everyone's more than happy to help. And so, the town mayor is usually the instigator of the project, and as they attempt to bring life back into their beloved towns. And for the most part, it's working really, really well. So, they'll help you to find a conveyor, a designer, a plumber, an electrician, anyone that you need for that. There's people there to help you to do that. Now, we first heard about this when we read an article online about purchasing €1 homes. And to us, it sounded too good to be true, but I decided to check it out anyway, because if you don't look at something, then you'll never know if it was real or not. So I checked it out, and after many, many days of researching and watching a gazillion YouTube videos from people who had bought them, we made the decision not to purchase a €1 home. But it is a really, really great incentive, and it can work for a lot of people. And so I thought today I'd go through the reasons why we decided it wasn't for us. And some of these may resonate with you, and some of them you'd be like, oh no, that's a reason why I would buy it. So yeah, let me share it with you. So the number one reason for us is that it was too much work for us to do, we felt, remotely, even though they would help you get the experts in, and because they genuinely want to see you succeed at it. A large majority of the homes were basically, uninhabitable. And so you're starting with a real raw shell, and it's a beautiful shell, with lots of history and lots of potential. But you really need to be aware that, and you need to be able to see the potential. You need to be aware that a lot of these homes, aren't livable and haven't been lived in for a long time. Some of them have, but you can find those. And we have one of our favorite channels called Duavo, which I'll put the link below. He actually goes to these towns and looks for these €1 homes to show you what's possible. But having never renovated in a foreign country before and never renovated remotely before, we decided the undertaking of bringing something like that back to life was just a bit too much for us initially, for our first kind of project. We're still, going to be looking potentially in the future at ones like that. But once we've done our first, project, then, we'd feel a little bit more comfortable with that. So that was the main reason. The second main reason was that I actually prefer to do the work myself. I absolutely love to renovate anything from properties to furniture to anything. So I don't know, I've always really loved, getting my hands dirty and working with stone and wood and cement and rendering and plastering and tiling and painting and doing all those sorts of things. So, I've successfully renovated several properties, commercial properties, but my dream's always been to renovate an old barn or an old home, a stone, cottage or a stone home. And so I just love bringing them back to their natural beauty. So to do it remotely just wasn't going to be as enjoyable for me. I really want to be there while we're doing it. And that was the second reason. The third reason was the return on our investment. So having been inspired by another channel, YouTube channel, Chris on Super Savvy Travelers, her YouTube channel, where I'll put the link below, what she's doing for her area of Calabria, I decided I really wanted to do that too. And I wanted to support the growth of a small town in Italy. And I just wanted to be part of that community and part of, bringing more to that town, bringing life back into it. But I also wanted a rental return on my investment. And so sooner rather than later. So the buying process in Italy, I've got to let you know, is a slow process. And you've got to be prepared for that. So don't expect things to move quickly. And so it can take quite some time. Adding to that then, renovations after the purchase of the property, then it could be, years perhaps, or at least a year before I saw a return on my investment. And so I chose like a smallish town with lots of sort of tourist potential and went with properties that I could get a return a lot sooner rather than later. So that was the third reason. The fourth reason was that we couldn't find a town in the area we decided, and in the town that we decided, that actually had €1 homes. So hence we went for a slightly higher budget. But the good news is that you can purchase, even if you don't want a €1 home, you can still purchase, absolutely gorgeous and amazing properties in beautiful, beautiful towns in Italy for anything between, €10,000 upwards. So it's, you may not get your €1 home, but for just a little bit more, you can actually, own a property in Italy in a beautiful community. And the channel that I mentioned, Duavo, his channel, he goes into that in a lot more detail. So I highly recommend it. So check out the links for that. So those are the reasons why we decided not to go with the €1 homes. But I hope it doesn't put you off. If you love, the whole idea of it, then please, look at the other channels and decide, if €1 home is what you want to do, then absolutely go for it, because there's a lot of success stories out there. So if that's for you, fantastic. So I hope you like this video. If you did, please give me the thumbs up, and of course hit subscribe. In my next video, I'm going to talk about the actual research process that I went into in great detail to determine which town exactly, how much our budget was, which properties we specifically wanted to choose and why. So I go into all that, the research and decision-making process. So that's in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now. Bye.